Now, what is truly scarce is time. Now, not time in the context of quantum physics or quantum mechanics, but time in the context of our own mortality. We really do not have a lot of time to live on this planet. And it's interesting when it's our very attachment that are providing the kind of experiences that reduce our time or shortens our time on this planet. What do I mean by that? Oftentimes in relationships, in attachments, we become fearful of losing the other party, and especially when, as children, we have acquired, um, insecure attachment styles, where we learn to become we learn in adulthood to fear abandonment. Knowing this fear really triggers the need for us to present ourselves as too perfect in relationship, not wanting to express anything that we believe may be a turnoff to the other person. For example, we become fearful of expressing our hunger to the other partner. We become fearful of expressing any kind of negative emotions to our partner, fearing that that may turn off. So we become over performers, right? We always want to give, we always want to do, we always want to be the one to solve the problems that our partners are experiencing, right? But the problem with this is that, according to many experts, is that one of the main or the number one predictor of persons who will eventually develop PTSD or autoimmune disease or cancer as are those persons who are driven by a sense of duty. Those persons who will put or make their own interest secondary to the interests of others. Those persons who, what they call, suppress their negative emotions in the service of the other person. And that is why the term or the phrase that say the good die young, and that happens literally. But what the so-called good people are doing is to be performers, to put aside their own authentic expression. And very importantly, when you're authentic in your own authentic self, you know when to show up, in a positive mode. You know when to show up as a giver. You know when not to withhold. Why? Because you're not a performer in your authentic self. You're giving out of a sense of fullness. So where there is no need to perform, when any kind of performance compromise your own health or well-being, you know when to pull back. But again, very importantly, this can only happen when you have sufficiently developed the ability and the willingness to walk away from an attachment that doesn't serve you. Why? If you think that anyone will love you if you're too needy, if you're too clingy, if you are overperforming, you are wrong. To the extent to which anybody have ever felt love on this planet is the extent to which they have communicated to the other person that they themselves comes first, that they are ready and willing to walk away from what does not serve them. People truly are drawn to those persons who stand whole and complete. So going forward, protect your well-being. Understand that if an attachment triggers continuously, years after years, your nervous system, that fight or flight response system, that says to you, be on alert, danger is there, you can lose or you might lose this attachment any moment. It means that this attachment is actually killing you slowly. After a while, a functional relationship has to communicate that it is safe. It is safe. And that person should clearly communicate to you that, that person, providing that you're showing up in a responsible way, that they are not going anywhere. Now, Again, on the other hand, it's very important for us to prioritize attachments and relationships. As human beings, we are social beings. So we need a community to exist in. We can't exist in our own optimized individuality, right? Again, something that's very, very important as well is our need for love and attachment. We have a very, very strong need to find a partner, to develop a sexual romantic relationship with that partner, and a deep attachment. So I am not calling for people to in any way reduce the importance of attachment. Why? Research suggests that men who are married live longer. Also, men, who are experiencing chronic illness like cancer, for example, even their treatment works more effective when they are supported by a partner. When a wife brings to that sick husband that medication, the nervous system respond, the body respond better to that than when that person is isolated by himself. So we need both. We need attachments, we need relationships, and we do need to be our authentic self. So a good relationship essentially leave that provides that outlet through which we can express our own unique authentic self. So we should endeavor to protect both our authentic self and our relationships.